Hello, wisdom seekers. Happy New Year. Wishing you a beautiful start to this awesome 2025. This might be a little late, but I didn't want to let this time of year pass without sharing with you a new ritual, a new Christmas tradition that I picked up. I started this ritual last year around the same time. It's going to be incorporated into my life moving forward because I was freshly pregnant and I was trying to think about what parts of my childhood and what parts about Christmas I want to bring with me and what parts I'm ready to leave behind. My husband and I both grew up in the 90s. It was very much all about, the season's hottest toys. Think, people bashing down department store doors, running people over. I mean, I feel like most of that craze has ended. We don't see people killing each other for a Tickle Me Elmo anymore, but the frenzy around the holiday season is still there. And it's something that I've removed myself from over the past few years. I've just simply gotten used to telling my family, no, I'm not doing that. But when I was pregnant, I was trying to think, this season has to mean something. And that's what this podcast is about, gathering wisdom. It's taking what we knew, breaking down what we thought we knew, and rebuilding what we want to bring with us into the future. Knowledge for the new paradigm. So knowing what we know about Christmas, the commercialization, the consumerism, the hijacking, of Christianity over this time of year. What do we want to leave behind and what do we want to bring with us? So that's why I feel like it's important to share this ritual with you. It's called the 13 Holy Nights. It's something I discovered and I want to tell you a little bit about the practice, and you can decide for yourself whether or not it's something you want to incorporate into your family's tradition for next year. Let's get into it. Welcome, wisdom seekers, to the Gathering Wisdom podcast, Knowledge for the New Paradigm, with me, your host, Robin in the Wild. We're living through some truly transformational times, and if you're anything like me, you're craving ways to cultivate a more conscious and soul-driven life. Join me weekly as we explore a rich tapestry of topics, ranging from mindfulness magic, the science behind the woo, tips for sustainable living, and so much more. Together, we can illuminate the path to a brighter future and guide each other to a more empowered, resilient, and juicy life, one episode at a time. Before the start of the holiday season last year, I was in my local tea shop and apothecary with my meditation teacher, and there was this beautiful oracle deck for sale at the counter. And to my surprise, my meditation teacher said, "Oh, I know the author. She's a local Qigong practitioner in our area." And I picked up the deck and I looked at it and I was like, this actually seems like something I want to try, I want to get into. So all credit to Lara J. Day. She did not invent this practice or this ritual. However, she did package this up into a really easy to incorporate ritual that you can, plug into your holiday season. So she explains the origins of where it comes from. She explains her intention behind it. It's all about unplugging, removing yourself from the frenzy of the holiday season, and dedicating time to the quiet, the stillness, and the darkness, and helping you turn inward so that you can really draw on the energy that you want to bring in to the next year. So that's a little bit about her. She's like I said, a Qigong master, and she has been using this practice for the past 18 or 20 years or so. She learned it from her master. So you certainly don't need her oracle deck cards, although I do highly encourage you to go look them up and check them out because they are beautiful. You can technically use any oracle deck, but I do think it's really powerful the way she's laid it out. The whole practice is going to begin on the solstice. So between the solstice and Christmas Eve, you're going to carve out time. You're going to create a small altar or a sacred space where you're going to perform your practice, your ritual, and you're going to gather your supplies. So whether that be candles, journal, you definitely need a journal. You need anything you use to cleanse, and you're going to start focusing on your intentions for the next year. And then on sundown, Christmas Eve, is when the magic begins. So she's got her deck separated into animal cards, herb cards, and mineral cards. So the first night when the sun goes down, you do your practice. We like to do a little meditation. I like to get really clear on what I want to bring forward in the new year. We take some grounding time to just kind of get into our bodies. And then my husband and I've drug him into this practice just because I think it's so powerful. We each pull a card from the animal deck, the herb deck, and the mineral deck. So those 3 cards are going to be the theme of your year. And I'll share mine with you. So for my animal this year, I got crow. For my herb, I got violet. And then for my mineral, I got celestite. And so she's, of course, got explanations in the book about, what each of them means and what they symbolize. So those are going to be kind of my totem for the year. Those are the 3 things that I'm going to be reflecting on. And last year I got, what did I get as my animal? I got dragonfly, and I saw dragonflies through the whole year. It was very magical, very auspicious. So that's the fun part. And that's why you need the journal. When you draw the cards, you're going to write it down. You're just going to do a brief, journal entry about what the cards make you feel, what your initial impression is, and what do you think it's going to mean? What do you think it's going to bring to you? Then my suggestion, leave a big blank space, because you're going to be reflecting on these cards a lot, and you might want to go back and journal about something that happened. Maybe you had a dream. Maybe it came up for you. Maybe the symbolism struck a chord with you because of some interaction. Like, you never know. So you just want to leave plenty of space so that you can go back and reflect. Now, sundown the following night, you are going to pick your card that's going to represent January. And this time you're going to mix all the cards up. So there's no need to separate them out into different categories. You're just going to mix them all up, and trust that whatever card you draw is the card that you're supposed to get to help, represent your January. Then the following night at sundown, same thing. February, you're going to draw a card for February, and then so on and so forth until you've drawn cards for the entire year. You end up at December, which should land you somewhere near January 6th, which, I'm a recovering Catholic. We know that as the Epiphany or King's Day. So that's how long it took for the kings to actually get to baby Jesus, which is actually not true at all, because Jesus, I guess, was supposedly born sometime in April, according to the astrology records. So that just goes to show how Christianity really hijacked this time of year and how it's really turned into something it's not. And that's why Lara felt it was very important to kind of reclaim the season. So whether or not you need to establish some really strong boundaries with family, if you just want to unplug from the consumerism, because that is not what this time of year is about, we're actually supposed to be winding down and really embracing the stillness. And having gone through my year last year, I've really tuned my body into the seasons. I mean, I don't know if I've shared this before, but the night my water broke and I went into labor, I put my moon water out with my crystals with intentions on the jar saying, like, I wish for a healthy baby. And then my water broke 2 hours later. So that's how powerful it is when we time our bodies to nature and we really get in tune. And that's why I love this practice so much. It meant some really powerful things for me last year. When I look back at my journal entries from the cards that I drew this time last year, I'm like, wow, that was really something. I mean, I've had some crazy experiences. I think one card that I drew was dragonfly, and then I saw dragonflies everywhere for like a month. So it's really important to pay attention to nature as our teacher, nature as our guide. I'm reading a book right now called Animal Speak, and he talks about the same thing. maybe there are parts of certain animals that we keep running into that like eke us out. I know that I keep encountering crickets, and I don't necessarily love a cricket, jumping out at me, but what is it that I'm repelled by? It's time to look into that and to see what this animal can teach us. So that's the practice. If you are interested in, incorporating this into your life or learning more, I'm definitely going to link all the information into the show notes. But I just wanted to bring this tradition forward. I hope everyone had a really wonderful holiday season, and looking forward to the next episode with you all. Thank you for joining me. If this week's topic resonated with you, you can help keep the wisdom flowing by following and sharing with a loved one or fellow seeker. If there's a topic you'd like me to explore or to be a guest on Gathering Wisdom, feel free to reach me at hey@robininthewild.com. Until next time, stay curious.